Part 2 of this interactive tutorial, we're going to go into the implementation or the M file to actually set up our methods and our behaviors for this application to work, our interactive app to work. But the first thing we do before we go to the M file, we're still in the header file here, I'm just going to double click on this and get rid of the label so we don't have the label in there. And now we're going to go to the pop-up menu here at the top of the editor, assistant editor, and we're going to switch to the view controller M file. Take a look at this for a minute. It's importing the view controller header file. The interface declaration is declaring the view controller. The implementation is also giving us the view controller here. And the only other thing we need to do here at the top of this file is we need to synthesize these properties that we created in the header file. So this statement is at synthesize, and we're going to synthesize first of all my text field that we created, and then we're going to synthesize my label and finish both of those declarations with a semicolon. And then we're going to go straight down to the IB action method down here that was created when we set up the IB action with the button in the header file. This was created automatically for us by Xcode. All we have to do is go in and define the method. So what's going to happen when the user clicks on the My Button button? So after the curly brace here, hit return, and we're going to write the following code. NS string, yes, that's what I want. And I'm going to put in asterisk message, and the message is going to be NS string, so double square bracket that we use for the alloc and init in Objective-C, alloc init. Only this time, instead of just a straight init, we're going to use init with format. Init with format, and the format is going to be so after init with format, there's a colon, and then we're going to put in this string literal, which is at quotation marks hello. I'm just going to leave it as a space and put the percentage sign as a placeholder, the at symbol for the literal text, and then a quotation mark. And then I'm going to enter a comma. It's going to go to a new line here, just so that we can see things. And I'm going to put in a square bracket here and say my text, and then text. So the text is going to be text. Finish off with the two square brackets and then a semicolon. And then one more thing we're going to do here is we're going to have another square bracket and say my label. Whoops, that's right, that's correct. And set text. Message. Close the square brackets, and that should be ready to run here. So let's see what happens. We're going to go up and build and run, and it says build succeeded. And then the simulator pops up. So now the iPhone simulator is automatically launched, and here is our interface. So I can go in and test this out. Notice when I click inside the text field, it automatically pops up the keyboard. We didn't have to write code for that. the keyboard is referred to as the first responder. And so the first responder automatically responds with this class and with this method being called here. So we're going to type in a name and click enter. And there you go, it works. So that's all fine, but you notice that the first responder or the keyboard does not go away. So I'm going to go back to my code here, click stop to stop the simulator running. And right here where I've got my label set text message, right after that, I'm just going to add a simple line of text, line of code here. And it's going to be my text space resign first responder. And notice when you put that up there, it hints at it. You just enter, hit return. And now when we build and run, build succeeded, keyboard pops up, type in my name, hit enter, and it resigns the first responder to the keyboard. So that's fine. But let's do this again. Notice that the keyboard pops up if I change my name here. If I go to return on the keyboard, this is not working. And so I have to fix that. Okay, so I'm going to stop the simulator from running. And in order to make that keyboard actually function correctly, what we're going to do is we're going to click inside the text field, and we're going to go up to the top right-hand side of the property inspector here, which is the connections inspector. And this shows us how all of the objects are hooked up and connected. And one of them in particular that we're concerned with in making the keyboard work is this outlet known as delegate. So we want this text field to act as a delegate with the keyboard. And to do that, we simply click and drag from the hookup button there and release it where it says View Controller. And so now, hopefully, when we click on this, you could see it should say Delegate View Controller up here in the outlets area. So now if we try and build and run, it succeeds. And the simulator opens, keyboard responds, I type in my name and hit return, and nothing happens. Okay, so I'm going to close the simulator. So what I need to do is to write some code in here to tell it what to do with the keyboard. And to do that, I'm going to write this bool method. And it should be text field should return is going to be the code. Text field should return colon UI text field and then an asterisk, close the parentheses, and then text field, and then curly braces to say what's going to happen here. And actually, we want it to just do exactly the thing. So we want the return button on the keyboard to do exactly what our enter button did or does on the interface. So we could just copy this code here from the IB action method. We don't have to write it all out again. So copy it and put it in here. And then the only other thing we have to do, because it's a Boolean method, we have to return return yes and semicolon. And so let's run this now and see what happens. And so I can type in my name, and now when I go to the keyboard and hit return, it does indeed put the text in there and resigns the keyboard, resigns the first responder. So that is how to get a little bit of interactivity going in here and get you started with some user input and output on your iPhone or iOS device.